Ah, yes, NBC in 1974, the network that looked at ABC's $6 Million Man, a show about a bionic secret agent running in slow motion through the California desert while a synthesizer weaves patriotically in the background, and said with complete sincerity, "We can do that. Give us an invisible man, a man from the bottom of the ocean, a government spy with a 15-minute expiration window, and a paralyzed professor who builds a suit in his garage. We will build you a superhero universe that makes ABC genuinely nervous." Spoiler alert, they did not make ABC nervous. They did not make anyone nervous. And here's the cosmic punchline. While NBC was busy burying every original hero it touched, CBS walked into Marvel's offices in 1977 and bought an entire mythology off the shelf. This is the story of NBC's superhero graveyard, four concepts, four graves, and a network that won by not inventing anything at all. Let's keep it 100 about what was happening in American television in 1974. The $6 Million Man premieres on ABC, and the ratings are generally obscene. Lee Majors in a red tracksuit running at what the show assures you is 60 miles per hour, and America cannot stop watching. By 1976, The Bionic Woman spins off the same franchise. ABC now has two bionic superhumans, a toy line, a merchandise empire, and a stranglehold on Saturday night action that makes networks executives at NBC wake up sweating. NBC's response is understandable, if misguided. Instead of licensing on existing property, instead of picking up the phone and calling Marvel or DC or literally anyone with a character that already lived in a child's imagination, NBC decides to build original from scratch with concepts they own outright. On paper, this is a creative ambition. In practice, it's four separate bets on four different original premises, none of which have a fan base, a comic mythology, a toy line, or 40 years of accumulated audiences' goodwill behind them. Just the premise. And in the superhero business, as CBS was about to demonstrate, a premise without a mythology is just a Halloween costume with a pilot order attached. So let's go through them because each one is a different flavor of deliciously bleak. Bet number one, The Invisible Man. David McCallum, best known for his stint on The Man from Uncle, plays Dr. Daniel Weston, a government scientist who accidentally renders himself permanently invisible and cannot reverse it, which is, let's be honest, not solving the problem so much as creating a different, significantly creepier one. The show runs 12 episodes. It gets canceled. NBC looks at the smoking crater, blinks once, and says, "Okay, let's try that again." Bet number two, The Gemini Man, 1976. Same concept, different name. Ben Murphy plays Sam Casey, a covert agent who can become invisible for 15 minutes per day before cellular deterioration kicks in and start killing him. It is the Invisible Man with a timer, a slightly larger effects budget, and the same fundamental audience problem, which is that watching an Invisible Man is structurally just watching nothing happens. Gemini Man lasts only 11 episodes. NBC files this under experience and pivots hard. Bet number three, Man from Atlantis, 1977. Now, this one is interesting. Patrick Duffy, before Dallas made him a household name, plays Mark Harris, an amphibious humanoid discovered washed up on a California beach. He has web hands. He breathes underwater. He swims in a horizontal torpedo posture that looked in 1977 impressively cinematic and today looks like a man being towed through a pool on a wire, which is because why not? Exactly what it is. Man from Atlantis is NBC's most ambitious swing of the era. They produced four TV movies before commissioning a full 13 episode series. The early numbers are respectable. International markets pick it up. And for one brief, flickering moment, NBC has something that might become a franchise. It doesn't. The series collapses under repetitive plotting, a lead with no discernible backstory, and the unavoidable problem that underwater superhero television is extraordinarily expensive to produce on a network television budget. Mark Harris swims back into the ocean, and nobody follows. Bet number four, Exo Man 1977. And then there's this one. Professor Nick Conrad, brilliant academic, dedicated teacher, presumably the kind of man who grades on a curve, gets whacked by a mob hitman and wakes up paralyzed from the waist down. Most people at this juncture pursue legal action. Professor Conrad does the opposite. He builds a suit. The suit is orange. It is bulky. It is magnificent in a specific, irreplaceable way that 1977 NBC movie of the week ambition tends to be magnificent. It's also, let's keep it a buck, an Iron Man concept that NBC aired as a TV movie, watching politely and then shelved permanently several decades before Iron Man became a household name in cinema. One broadcast, no pickup. The universe NBC was building hits zero velocity and stops. Four concepts, four graves. Neatly arranged. So, why did all of it fail? Not bad luck, not bad timing, not even bad execution necessarily. NBC's original superhero properties share one fatal structural flaw. They were concepts without context. The $6 Million Man worked because Steve Austin had a mythology, a military background, a personal tragedy, a government infrastructure that explained who he was and what he could do, and why any of it mattered. In the title sequence before the first commercial break every single week. NBC's heroes had none of that architecture. The Invisible Man is a scientist who can't show his face. The Gemini Man is an agent who will die if he does his job too long. Man from Atlantis is a humanoid with no origin anyone can explain. And Exo Man is a professor who built Iron Man in a garage and got one broadcast for his trouble. Original concepts can work, but they need more than our power and our problem. They need a world that audiences can walk into and feel oriented. And NBC, in its urgency to compete with ABC, kept building suits without building the worlds those suits existed in. CBS understood the difference and they acted on it. While NBC was filming Invisible Men and retrofitting professors into exoskeletons, CBS made a different calculation entirely. In 1977, CBS acquired the television rights to multiple Marvel Comics properties, and what followed was not a graveyard, it was a franchise. The Incredible Hulk premieres as a CBS TV movie in November 1977. Bill Bixby as Dr. David Banner, Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk. The show runs for 5 full seasons, 82 episodes, and doesn't end until 1982. It generates 3 reunion TV movies after cancellation, establishing more of a pre MCU. It is, by any reasonable standard, a genuine cultural institution. The Amazing Spider Man premieres on CBS in early 1978. Captain America gets 2 TV movies in 1979. Doctor Strange gets a TV movie pilot in 1978. And while that particular pilot doesn't survive to series, the pattern is unmistakable. In a single 2 year window, CBS built a functioning live action Marvel universe using characters that had already been living in people's imaginations since the 1960s. The audiences wasn't being asked to invest in a new mythology. The mythology was already there. CBS just put it on television. NBC was racing to create what audiences wanted. CBS just asked what audiences already loved. The audience presented with a choice between a professor in an orange suit they never heard of and the green monster smashing through walls. A monster who'd been doing exactly that in Marvel Comics since 1962 chose the monster without hesitation every time. The universe NBC was trying to build, CBS built it, just with someone else's character, and frankly, it slapped. Now, here's what's strange about all of it in hindsight. NBC wasn't wrong to try. Exo Man is a premise that, under a different network with a larger budget, with a serialized structure, could have been something. The Invisible Man has been rebooted successfully 3 times since then. Man from Atlantis pioneered underwater mythology that echoed through a generation of television. NBC just arrived at an arms race with imagination instead of ammunition. CBS had a Rolodex in Marvel's back catalog. In the superhero business, the Rolodex wins. The suits are still out there somewhere in the archive waiting. The universe, however, that belongs to the network that made the phone call. If you want genuine video essays on cult television, retro animation, and forgotten pop culture, subscribe to Pulp Vision. And if you want to go deeper on Exoman specifically, the universal deal, the orange suit, and exactly how close it came to becoming a series, that video is on the channel. Thanks for watching as always.